Guys, we're back again. We were having
Hello.
problems. I'm like so happy. It looks like it's working out. So today I am so happy because when I had Busy Becky on from Busy Becky, she was so sweet. We talked about how to save money with kids. And so I reached out to Angel because I couldn't wait to have her back on because she's just awesome. And she said to me like let's do like how we save money on our children, not for our children. I was like, awesome. So I'm so happy that I have Angel back from my. Hi, Angel.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Debbie.
I'm so happy that you're here. So, in case
Excited.
anyone is not familiar with your channel, do you want to let people know what your channel is about?
Sure thing. So I've documenting my journey to get out of nearly $120,000 worth of debt. I started my channel back in February of 2019, and we've experienced quite a number of things between job losses, deaths in the family, unexpected pregnancy, all of the things. But we got through it, and we're finally to a point where we're starting to pay off the credit card debt. We're almost credit card debt free. So if you'd like to join the ride, I say give the subscribe button a clickety dickety do.
I love
Bam.
and you're about to make a big announcement, and I can't wait on
Yes.
your channel. And I
Yes.
won't ask you. I can't wait to find out. Like,
I'll give you guys, since you're here, a little sneak peek. But
ooh,
we are down almost $3,000 just for the month of March on card number 2.
That's amazing.
Yes, so amazing.
Wow.
I'm so excited to share it with you guys. I can't.
Oh, I'm so happy that you said it. I'm still watching.
Yeah, you have to see the total because, like, socks are still knocked off.
and since we had to do the replay, I don't have any links, but as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna have Angel's channel down below. I hope you guys all go watch her and subscribe. She's awesome. And speaking of awesome, Kate's here. Hold on a minute. Oh,
thank you,
Kate. Angel, that is awesome. Yeah. I had the privilege and honor of having a collab with Kate that just came out on Friday, and we shared our 5 biggest tips for avoiding budget busters. And it was such a great. And Kate, thank you so much for collabing with me. And it was so much fun.
Great videos.
She's just like you. She's even nicer in person. It's like, how can someone be nicer in person than they are when they're doing videos? But her and I talked for like an hour, and we really hit it off. And I was like, she's even nicer in person. I'm like, she's awesome.
That's awesome. She's awesome. I love Kate.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm channel link down below. Again, once I'm able to clear up this technical stuff and put it afterwards. So if you guys are not subscribed to Kate, then please rush over and subscribe to her. She says she has so much fun with me too.
Aww.
See what I mean? This community's awesome. We were just talking about it.
Seriously, yes.
Oh, Becky's here.
Hey, Becky.
Okay, so let's see here. I'm so glad the comments are working. I can see you. You can see me.
Yes.
All
everything's going smooth now.
I don't know what it is about money. Like money. I get so excited to talk about how to save it. You know,
Me too.
Oh yeah, you know.
I get so excited to potentially help someone not make the same mistakes I've made for the last however many years.
We all have. It's like anyone that goes on there thinking that, showing the Pinterest life and that they came to a mistake. You know what? I want to see your closet. Like,
yeah, right. Like, no, you want to see that.
Not yours. I mean, anyone that says that they have a Pinterest life, like showing like they make no mistakes financially. That's
oh my god,
community, because we're honest. Like one way or another, we're honest about our mistakes, and we're trying to help people try to avoid what we did.
Yeah.
So I love statistics, and when I'm like, okay, I have to share this. Okay. My husband doesn't even know this yet. Okay, so in 2017, it's estimated that the cost of one child in the United States is about $233,610, and it does not include college.
Yikes.
Are you kidding? Why people need our content.
Yes, yeah, because that's a lot of money.
So of course, me taking out my trusty calculator, I had to torture myself. Now, Angel, she has her lovely son, Xavier, right? Who just turned 1, right?
Did. I still have the decorations up. I figured I'd keep them up for the big announcement.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So you're only 233,610 in the hole. Like by the time you
That's the one that's like, I'm not going to think about that right now.
Try thinking about 3 kids.
3, right? I know. Oh my gosh, like, God bless.
I know. I'm like, yeah. No. So I have a 6-year-old and I have 2 twins, and I always say the twins are expensive enough as it is. Anyone else, let me know if you have twins. I mean, twins, teenagers. My God. So
are they twins or are they just?
I was gonna say twins. No, my 2 teens.
Oh,
they're a year
okay.
apart. They're a year apart, but they're thankfully they're not twins. So. So for the 3 of them, it's going to cost $100,830.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? Like, and that doesn't include college. At least tell me that includes college, but of course it doesn't. So I was like, that's awesome.
Oh, wow, that's crazy to think of, like earning that over X amount of years as well.
So that's why people need our channels.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Yes.
So we thought we'd break it down as far as like expenses from like newborn through teenagers, so that we can share what we've learned along the way to try to save everyone else money. And one who has either an infant, a 1-year-old, up to a teenager, and they're trying to save money, share this video with them.
Yeah.
So we thought I'd break it down as categories. Now, I thought we'd try to start it before the baby's even born, right?
Good one.
Yeah. So this is a trick that I don't remember where I got. I was trying to remember because like this is an original Debbie thought. Like, no, like I got this somewhere. Can't think of where. When I was pregnant with my first, I didn't have any family or friends, kids that can hand-me-downs, maternity or anything like that. So I was the first, right, of my friends. They were still clubbing, and I'm pregnant. So, seriously. So, babysitters, but anyway. So when I went to the maternity store, they were having a big sale, and I was like, I can't fit in my clothes anymore. I have to, go maternity. And they, I found out that register with maternity stores, like you don't even have to buy anything. That's the cool thing about it. They do this for everyone. You walk in, you look around, they'll say, hey, do you want to register? So what they do is they take down your name, address, and your due date. That's all they need. And they share it with like Gerber, every baby, Huggies, Pampers, every company that has to do with baby.
Oh,
so
wow.
I didn't know. I ended up going to a few stores because I'm always looking for a bargain, even back then. And I needed clothes to continue because I ended up like,
yeah, you become like a double of yourself. Yeah.
Things can only stretch so far. So I went to a few stores and I didn't notice what I was actually doing. I realized it. I did it with Brian afterwards when I was pregnant with my son a year later. Anyway, so what they do is they give your information out. So I had no idea what I was doing. When I came to the hospital, I had these boxes waiting outside my door. And I was like, what's that? Like, we didn't order anything. Come to open it up, it's free formula. It's boxes. It's not full boxes, not like the 100 and something, but like the mini ones, like the 30s. I had Pampers, I had Huggies, I had Infamil. I know was only one of the formulas. I had formulas. I mean, I had coupons for baby food. They set me up. And they even sent me a diaper bag in one of them. Like it was one of those like fold up diaper bags. So it's awesome. And
I had no idea that you could do that.
I know. I was like, it was something. I don't know where I got it, and then I just did it, and then after that, I was like, I'm doing all 3, and I did.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a big help.
Yeah. What about you? Like, what did you do to prepare? Like, any money saving
tips? So it's probably not funny, but in hindsight, I've learned a lot. We lost our jobs, both of us, and then immediately after found out that I was pregnant, and I was like, oh my God, like what are we gonna do? I didn't even know how we were gonna pay for the mortgage or anything like that, let alone a baby. So I was just all sorts of crazy because my hormones were also going off the wall. So I ended up finding a counseling service through the doctor that I was going to. And that was such a blessing. I was paired with a counselor, and she would give me every visit. I'd get diapers, wipes, clothes, anything that they had there that she could give to me, she would give me. His high chair we didn't have to pay for, she gave that to me. She just so much stuff. I think his first pair of shoes were from her. So we were so blessed with that. And then we didn't do like a baby shower or anything like that, but my coworkers actually got together and they got me a whole bunch of stuff. So we didn't even have to buy diapers. Like when we had Xavier, it was just about the height of the pandemic. So I remember leaving the hospital and saying to Jordan, we need to stop. I need to get some emergency formula just in case, because I was trying to breastfeed. I said, just in case, like I can't or I don't produce enough, I just need an emergency formula. We walked into the supermarket, and Debbie, I didn't know what I walked into. The shelves were bare. And oh, hello, Lisa. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't even know what to buy. So anyways, we were so lucky because you couldn't find diapers, you couldn't find really wipes, formula. We were so lucky that my counselor was able to provide that stuff during the height of the pandemic and all of that. So we were really, really blessed with that.
Oh my gosh, that I have no words. I have no words. Like
Yeah.
sometimes things happen for a reason, and then programs like that. I mean,
Yep.
how wonderful is that? How wonderful is that? Honestly,
It's seriously like I think I made a video about it. I could just cry sometimes when I talk about it because I didn't know things like that existed and I needed it at that time, and I was so grateful for it. So like for anyone out there who might be struggling, just reach out to churches, different community programs in your area, and just see what they can offer, because I found there was a lot of resources and we definitely took advantage of them until I got my job and we got back on our feet.
Wow. Just that alone, you know, you help someone out there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what I love about this is the fact that you have the information, and you know your struggle is going to help someone not struggle that much.
Yeah, that's what Christy always says, that my mess is my message, and she is correct.
Yes, I've heard that too. I've heard another version of it. Now you're gonna make me think about it. Okay. At the hospital before we even came home. This is another one. You know, I don't know if people can tell I'm chatty, but so as the nurses are coming in, getting to know them, like, and I'm like, oh, did you go home? Did you relax? Blah blah blah. So I got to know them all. They were so sweet. And so before we left, they stocked up. I don't know what it's called. It's where the baby is, and that little that has the storage underneath for like the diapers and the wipes and things like that.
Bassinet.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, like the bassinet. So they were nice enough. They had no idea like about being on a budget or anything like that. But just being extra kind to them. You know, God knows they were so kind in helping me. And they stocked it up. And then they're like, "Oh, it's time for you to go. You have a diaper bag," and they put everything in there. I was like,
Yes.
"Oh God, thank you."
They did that for us too. They were like, take everything that's in the drawers. We were like, oh my gosh, thank you.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I was taken back. I was like, you know, your husband just had a baby. I was like, you're the
best. Yeah, that's really helpful. We even got like blankets and like little hats and stuff.
The hats, yeah, I got hats at which came so handy for all three of them as soon as we came home. So they gave us one of those. Diapers, wipes, diaper cream, like
yes.
They just stocked it up. So I came home with my stocked up, looking like I held up like the hospital. Yeah. And then I come into the door and they have and I had all these boxes. I was like, oh my gosh, I was never gonna have a diaper again. And like I'm out of diapers. Like
that sounds like when I left the hospital to go to the store for the formula, I still had like my hospital band on and like the marks from the IV and everything. I'm like, these people probably think, God only knows what they think of me right now. Like,
I had Emily, my little one, at a different hospital than my two, and I was like, you're just kind to people. Like they'll be kind back to you, you know.
Yeah.
And they'll do that. So that was awesome.
That is awesome.
Yes. So baby food. Said you tried breastfeeding.
Yes.
I didn't find out until my little one that health insurance is now, if you make a claim, they actually give you breast pump for free.
Oh yes, I did. I took advantage of that and I got
You
a breast
did?
pump. Yes.
Yeah, I did too.
Mhm.
I did too. And then my best friend had the same breast pump, and then she just gave me like extra stuff, like the cords and things like
Oh,
that. It gets worn out after a while. So
yeah. Yeah, it
yeah,
comes in
yeah.
handy to have extra breast
That
pumping stuff.
that's like $400 or $500 for like the basic ones,
Oh
not even
yeah.
ones with like the extra battery or anything like that. You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
it
very
is.
expensive.
Yeah, I was so excited about that. I'm like, really? And they give you counseling if you need counseling for breastfeeding and things like that. They give you all
Mhm.
those for free too, so you don't have
Oh
to
wow. That's
bother with.
wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought that's really helpful too. What about you when it came to baby food?
Well, so I was very like adamant about breastfeeding. I wanted to breastfeed as long as I could. And then
Mm-hmm.
what I started to get all of this anxiety. I think I really suffered from postpartum anxiety rather than postpartum depression
Mm-hmm.
because I would just get like I don't know, I would freak myself out over nothing really.
Yeah.
And my maternity leave was ending, so I was very fortunate to have a job that like I got hired on and maternity leave was an automatic,
Right.
which was nice. Like
Mm-hmm.
who does that these days? Like companies,
You hear
I don't
such horror
know.
stories now. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. So I was so blessed for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I went back to work. He was around 3 months, and I was just like, I didn't know how I was going to be able to step off the floor every 2 hours for at least 20 minutes to pump because I
Mm-hmm.
work in a distribution center. So we're very fast paced, have deadlines we have to meet, but getting
Mm-hmm.
product out. And I just knew there would be no way in the position I was in, I'm in a leadership position, that I couldn't just walk off the floor to do that.
Yeah.
And realistically, like if I probably could have, but
Mm-hmm.
it was causing me so much stress and anxiety that my counselor suggested, why don't I just try formula feeding, like completely formula feeding when I went back to
Mm-hmm.
work. And that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
he's fine. He's a perfectly healthy growing boy. So for anyone who might be struggling with that, you're not less of a mom because you're not breastfeeding. That's how I felt at first.
Yeah.
Um, as far as like the formula, I signed up for WIC. I applied for WIC and they were amazing. I got up to 11 cans of Simlac formula per month, which was everything that we needed. And then when he transitioned to baby foods, we started to get baby cereal and I think 32 jars of baby food, which is such a help. Um,
Yeah.
Now I kind of like I try to explore with different types of baby foods because
Mm-hmm.
I like to see what he likes. And he's starting to eat some food that we're eating now, which is exciting. But for anyone who is a low income family, definitely check out your WIC program because that was a lifesaver for us as well. And you can also check your assistant's office for SNAP, which is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly known as food stamps. All of your baby formula and baby foods, they're covered under SNAP as well.
I told you she's like chock full of information. It's like you can't get enough. You can't get
It's the
enough.
life experiences gives me some.
I'm telling you, I know you're helping people out there with that information. You're teaching me. You're teaching me, and I know that, and that's wonderful. And that's wonderful.
I'm
Um.
happy that I can.
Oh my gosh, I was able to breastfeed Emily, so I didn't have to bother with that. I was,
Nice.
it's your story is like, it's sounding so familiar to me. I really feel like, and I can hear my husband now talking about like you're singling out the women instead of the men in this story. I'm like, but it's true. I'm sorry, but it's true. Um, Pressure on ourselves, like
Mhm.
if we're working moms, like I want to hear from the working moms right now. Like if we're working moms, it's like, oh, am I spending enough time with my family? Am I spending enough time at work? Am I doing the best I could do here, best I could do there? Dinner is not done. This and that, blah blah blah. When you're pregnant, it's another level. It's another level. So everything you do is for the baby.
Mhm.
It's like I don't want to make it sound bad, but to me it was like I am not me anymore. Everything is about this baby while I'm pregnant. And it's kind of like you're
Yes.
hosting this baby. It's like if you fall, like you're not thinking about, am I going to hurt the baby.
Yeah.
Am I eating? What
Mhm.
am I drinking? We put so much pressure on ourselves, and I'm talking from experience too. I did it. Like I'm not like I didn't do like I did it. We'll do it. I think it's in our nature to do that. So for
I
me, I
agree.
was able to have the luxury of going But you know what I had to do? I had to take my breast pump. I walked through the office. I had to go up the stairs, go to like this empty office right outside where people are having meetings, and they're hearing, and in my head, I'm going, I'm so embarrassed. I'm gonna feed my baby. It's like, and it's a choice that I'm making. I'm making this choice. Nothing against anyone else with anything, but I think as women, we just put pressure on our. Oh, and it's like we can only do so much, you know.
Yeah.
And with you, like you're not allowed, you weren't allowed to continue it. That's the nature of your job, and
Yeah.
that's the decision you made.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
your
it was.
baby loves you just as much now as you would have if you nursed him longer. Like,
Yeah, I actually, my cousin, she has a little boy. I think he's 2 years older than Xavier, and they had a very, very difficult labor and delivery, and he had a lot of issues. He had some heart problems, and they didn't even get to bring him home until he was after a month old. And I remember talking to her about it, like saying I wanted to breastfeed so bad, and I was just having all of this inner turmoil in my head about it. And she said, Angel, with all the stress we went through, I couldn't even think about breastfeeding. Like I couldn't even produce milk. That's how stressed out I was with everything that happened with
because
her
it's all
son.
related. It's all related. It is.
Yeah. And she said, as long as you're feeding him, as long as he's getting fed, that's the
That's all
important
that
thing. It doesn't
matters.
matter how.
Exactly.
Becky made a really good point if
Yes,
you
I
want to highlight that.
pop up listening to you. I was like, wait, Becky's got something to say. Everybody listen. Becky's awesome. I get the link on her from her down below. I'm gonna add her also. She's awesome. I was lucky
She
enough to have her
is.
last week. She's great.
Mhm.
She's able to breastfeed. So for a while I got milk from the milk bank at the hospital. I didn't even know they had that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you to everyone who donates their breast milk. Wow, that's amazing.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, the things you learn.
Yeah.
We really are educating each other.
Yeah, we really are. This is amazing.
So after I breastfed, then for the first time ever, I wanted to make my own baby food,
Okay.
and someone gave me. Talk about frugality. Like somebody gave me for free. It was like some hand me downs from my best friend with clothing for the longest time, which we'll cover. But baby gear. Another one of my friends dropped off a high chair. She dropped off my baby, which is what I use.
Oh, wow.
Containers. So in a matter of like 2 hours, once a week on a weekend, like I made food for the whole week. I froze it in like little ice cube trays. We saved so much money doing that. We saved.
That's a great idea
honestly.
to do that. I didn't even think of doing something like that.
I just honestly, if I had not gotten that gift, I wouldn't have even known how.
Yeah.
I YouTube. I even went to YouTube, like, oh, baby bullet, like, what can I do? And then I saw it, like, it's so easy. Like, it
wow.
literally took like 2 hours, I'm gonna say, on a Sunday, and I had it for like the whole week.
A whole week. Oh, I love doing that. Just like batch prepping everything, and your whole week is just set.
Anything you can do, like anything you can do
to
to
make
be more
your life
organized.
easier, right?
Yeah. I was telling Angel off script, this week's been horrible for me.
Poor Debbie's been going through it.
I owe you working mom syndrome. This took over this week. I'm like, what time is it? Like,
what day is it?
I don't even know. And as far as baby food, like, was there someone's, like, how did you do it? Was there like a preference that you liked or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I wanted to do everything completely natural and make my own, but the reality, especially during holiday peak season, I work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Wow.
It was just not possible. And we ordered a lot of takeout, and I did a lot of convenient stuff. So he just would get whatever we had, like whatever I would get from WIC. I would just mix up a little bit of cereal with it and feed him that way. Now he's starting to eat what we eat. So like in the morning, if you guys follow me on Instagram at My Real Life Budget, I post my food on there all the time. And a lot of you guys have questions about my food, and I make literally the same things all the time. I love potatoes, so I make my turmeric potatoes, and he'll eat them. He loves them. He loves scrambled eggs, mango, little pasta.
Mongo TikTok on, if I remember correctly.
Oh yes, yep. There's
follow her TikTok too. That's awesome. She's
yeah, awesome. I haven't posted on there in a bit, but that work-life balance.
Yeah, I remember seeing that there.
But yeah, if I had the time, I definitely would have like made all my own baby food. But since You
Mhm.
just, have to pick and choose what you can do as a mom sometimes.
Yeah. With my first two, like it's so funny. Like they're like, you didn't do that with us. Like with them, with them, I didn't know anything. I didn't know
Yeah,
anything.
but for real, like you get the first one, you're like,
I'm like,
there's no
yeah.
instructions.
My mom was the one, like she was around with my two teens. She's ill now, so she can't help me out with Emily. I'm sure she would too. But the other two, like if it wasn't for her, I would have been clueless. I had nobody. Like I just had her.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. But a funny thing that happened was, maybe it's changed now. It's been so long. But you know how like the to you like, okay, once you're gonna start on baby food, start for the first 3 days. You do that one flavor, right? Make sure
Yes.
there's no allergies. 3 days, right? Make sure there's no allergies, and then you move to the next one, and until you like knock them all out. So, so at one point I was doing chicken and vegetables, So for 3 days, Jessie, who was born with a tan, I have to start saying that ahead of time. She wasn't Casper White like me. With this pretty beautiful tan, and she still has it to today. So, oh my gosh! So I was looking at her. I was like, she's so like pretty. I'm like, she's not pale like me. I'm like, you got the right baby. Like, but, so with her, like it was 3 days of like the chicken with the vegetables. So I did that, and then it was like, oh, beef with vegetables. Okay, I did that, and then it was something else, and I did that. And when I brought her in for her checkup, the doctor looks at her and he just looks at me like, and he goes, "What'd you do?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? What did I do?" He goes, "Your baby's orange." I was like, "Excuse me?" I'm like, "She's tan." He goes, "I know she's tan, but she's orange." I'm
Oh
like,
my God. Was it carrots?
That's what I found out. That's what I found out. The ant vegetables, it's the cheapest vegetables they get for carrots. I was loading this poor baby up for like 12 days. The meat and the carrots.
Oh, that's funny.
And he looked at me and goes, "You can't tell." I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh. Well, I haven't done that, but thankfully he eats a lot of sweet potatoes. He likes sweet potato. We haven't had too much carrot going on in the house. Maybe that's why.
I'm telling you, I think that's why subconsciously I was like, you know what? If I ever have another one, I'm making my own food.
Yeah.
And Emily's is Casper White like me, I call it,
That's
so
Xavier's really like that too. Oh, thank you, Kate. I appreciate that.
Oh, yes. Her food is awesome, Kate. You're so right about that. Absolutely. I'm like, and that's why when I followed you on TikTok, I've never heard of mango. It's like, I'm trying that.
Yeah, it's I think it's Puerto Rican and Dominican. It's just mashed plantains. You boil plantains and add milk and butter and some salt. You can put pickled onions on top if you like, but we don't eat here. Really good.
Now you're gonna make me hungry.
Yeah.
So now, after the baby food, so now let's talk about like wipes, diapers, and diaper cream. How do you think you?
Favorite section of the section?
Go ahead.
So what I learned, like I said, I was so blessed to be given diapers and wipes, and we were given so much. And I've tried pretty much all of the brands of diapers. I've tried a ton of different wipes, and my favorite, I am a Huggies snob. I will buy Huggies every time, the diapers and the Natural Care unscented wipes. I buy them in the biggest pack that I can get. And the reason I believe in paying the extra for that brand is because I think you use more of the store brand versus Huggies. And in my opinion, I'd rather pay more to have a little bit better quality, to only have to use 1 or 2 wipes versus 3 to 6 wipes. And I would say with the diapers, I mean, like that could be either way, but we change Xavier pretty frequently so that he doesn't get diaper rash or anything like that. But we go through about 2 boxes per month, which is about the size that he's in now. It's about $40 a month. So it's expensive, but you could also, if you have the time and the patience, you can also get washable diapers. I looked into that, but again, I know my work schedule, I know my schedule, and I thought, am I really going to want to wash diapers every week? And so I gave myself the gift of disposable diapers.
It's like again, like something else you're gonna find yourself. Like I could save money. This,
Mhm.
and it's like how much is your time worth? You know what I mean?
Yes.
And everything else that goes with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, and for the diaper cream, I
Yeah.
really wanted to bring this up. So
Yeah.
we had I believe three tubes of Desitin, the small tubes. And we were out of those three tubes by the time he was 3 months. And when I had to go back out to get Desitin, it was the height of the pandemic and you couldn't find anything. The only thing I could find was the big, I think it was a 12 or 16 ounce tub of Desitin, and it was the max strength, the purple one. I thought, oh, I'll just get it because it's the only one here and we needed it. Do you know we still have a quarter of that tub left today?
Wow.
So, and it was like $12 and some change. So for $13, we had almost a year now worth of diaper cream that we have not had to repurchase. So if you have a little one in diapers and you need diaper cream, I would recommend getting the tub. It lasts way longer than the tube.
Wow. No, that's great. That's great. When it came to diapers, wipes, and creams, I agree with you about Huggies. I do. My son, no matter what I tried Huggies, I tried Pampers, I tried everything. I hopefully he won't watch this, so he won't be embarrassed. But, when so now he's definitely gonna be embarrassed. So when I would take them to the theme park, there's this great theme park here, Great Adventure in New
I've
Jersey.
been there.
Oh my gosh! And so because the kids got in for free, I had a season pass, so we had a thing to do all day: pack some sandwiches, make a day of it.
Yeah.
And constantly. So that's why my kids now, they love roller coasters. They can go on like 8 times in a row. Monsters. I know I did, but they love it. But I remember there was in the little kid ride, the little Looney Tunes section. I was so embarrassed one day. I just changed him. That was one thing too. I had just changed him, and he didn't say anything was wrong. Like everything was fine. When we got up and I had them walk, you know how you have your kid in front of you so you can help them.
Yes.
So as they're walking in front, there's a trail. There's a trail in the seat, and there's a
I know where this is going.
all the way down past every parent and kid of the little. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it's the little jelly beads that are inside the and he had not had an accident. It was just a matter of it rips. Like, what is wrong? Like, the times I got him, there was always on one side. I don't know if that's how he sat or, he was a really active little boy. So but it was so embarrassing. They had to shut down the ride when I left.
Oh my God.
Because I didn't realize it until after we're passing parents, and I'm like, what's this stuff on the floor? And then I'm following it up, and then I'm realizing it's coming out of my kid.
Oh, that reminds me of, we just went to an indoor water park for our nephew's birthday, and I'm there, he's in his little swimmer, and I'm just walking him around, tapping him on the butt. And we get back over to our chairs, and I'm like, where'd all this dirt come from? And here, and I was like, oh my God, have I been walking around like this for how long? So I've been there too.
The things we go through as moms. Oh my gosh, that's the best story ever. Trump mine by far. That's so funny. Oh my God. So, for me, wipes and diapers and diaper cream, especially with Emily, I coupon the heck out of it. Like I frugaled it like you wouldn't believe. My go-to place. I know people swear by Club and Costco, and I don't have memberships there, so I can't say anything about it. But my thing is I would go CVS. We have a CVS here. My God. One time the guy looked, you just took like 2 big bags of Huggies diapers for $5. I'm like,
yeah, if you play the coupons right. And also for those of you who use Fetch Rewards, Fetch gives you buku points for anything Huggies. I have like 40,000 points on Fetch, and it's all from the Huggies stuff that I've purchased all year. Yes.
And I have a link below, but I see it on Fetch. And I'm like, now I can't do anything about it while my kids are out of diapers. But I'm like, yeah, that was awesome.
They do amazing promotions on Fetch for Huggies.
If you guys have near you and you want to get a good deal, download their app. You just click on their coupon. They also give you cash back that you can roll into the purchase. And if you go to your baby website, you can coupons there too. And if you sign up for their email list, they'll email you more coupons. So that's a way of saving money on those 3 things too. Yeah. And especially for Emily, she needs sensitive diaper, the sensitive, because she has sensitive skin. So those are a bit more expensive than the other ones, of course. Like anytime you need something better, it's always a little bit more expensive.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely. Baby gear.
Baby gear. So I went into motherhood as we really don't need much. I told myself, like, we don't need a whole lot. We're not going to do anything crazy. We don't need monitors. His room was right next to us. We didn't need the bottle warmer. But you know what? Even though I went into it with that like minimalistic approach, we still ended up with so much stuff. And it was just from people blessing us, like my counselor, people in our lives. Everyone gave us so much stuff. So I didn't even really have to buy anything. We had a lot of hand-me-downs from his nephew. And my mom helped buy his bedroom set and everything like that. So we really didn't have to buy anything. So if you can find a counseling program like I was a part of, it was through Catholic Social Services. We got so much from my counselor that I don't even know how I could repay the program or say thank you, because they helped us so much with everything that we needed.
That's amazing. Oh, hold on a second. Lisa says that's so funny about the
washable diapers.
Had to use them for our son, and he was allergic to the disposable ones. Oh my gosh, really? Wow.
Oh, Lisa, I'm sorry.
I know.
Washing diapers.
Hashtag mom struggles.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. The one thing that I learned was, like I also had people like we had a lot of people do like a really nice baby shower. I was shocked. Like when I did the my registry, I kept it minimal. Like I just what we needed. Like, I knew I wasn't gonna get anything. I wasn't gonna get anything, just literally basic and what we needed. And we were blessed. We really were. To have like everyone that loved us to be so generous and give us everything. And I still ended up with doubles. But the one thing, and obviously, like, people try their best to do the registry, but sometimes they don't, or they know you want something, so you end up with 2. So before I get to that, the one thing though is car seat. Sure, that be careful when someone gives you a hand-me-down car seat, is the only
it's not
thing,
expired.
Yeah, that it hasn't been in an accident, that the latches in the back of the seatbelts are working right. If you take your car seat to your local, it used to be the local fire department, but I think now they have special checks that you go online and you bring your car seat, whether it's new or whether it's, they'll install it for you, so you can make sure that it's installed right.
The one of the women at the hospital helped us install ours. We just had a bucket seat at first, but if I could recommend a good car seat, it's the Greco. You could use it up until they're like 144 pounds.
That's what I have for Emily. It goes from infancy all the way up to a booster, which I thought was cool.
It's like $250, but it is worth every penny. If I would have just bought that one, we would have been set. I bought a stroller car seat combo, and I ended up paying probably close to double, because I had to buy one when he got bigger, when he put weight on. So
that all adds up. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything that you get double, like find out where you bought it at, like bring it over to a store. I had someone give us, I'm trying to think what it was. It was like a baby seat, not like a car seat, but it was like a baby seat,
like a booster,
something like that. And I had double of it. So I was embarrassed, because it was someone like that I wasn't that close to that came to the baby shower and wanted to, obviously extend generosity to us. But I didn't know her well, and I didn't want to be like, hey, where'd you get that? You know what I mean? I took it to the 3 stores I did. I mean, that thing was like $85. Like I took it to 85, still sticks in my mind. I took it to all 3, and then finally one scanned it, so he said, yes, here you go. And they gave me a gift card, and then I was able to use that to get something else for them when they needed it, like clothing and diapers and anything like that. So
that's really great
in another way, and then still being blessed by getting a gift, and it's what you need,
Yes.
Baby clothes. I made the mistake. I mean, I'm not with Jessie, my oldest. I didn't know what I was doing. Again, clueless. And I got a lot of baby clothes, and so new. So I took all the tags off, and I washed everything in the baby detergent, put it on, and then she grew out of them in no time. And I thought to myself, if I would have only kept the tags on and only washed a certain set, like a certain amount, you know,
Yep.
like the cutesy stuff I never got to touch, like I could have returned it. I could have returned it. I could have gotten the gift card again and been able to get something that she did fit into, you know? So I
Yeah.
learned the other two. With the other two, I definitely did a little bit at a time, you know?
My mom said, you don't need a lot of clothes. They grow so fast. So, and my counselor, she was giving me clothes from the time I started seeing her. So we had like a ton of clothes when we had them from her, and then from my job. And then we went to the thrift store recently to get him some bigger stuff. We found name brand like Adidas, Calvin Klein, Nike for dollars. Like we didn't pay more than $5 for one piece.
Yeah.
But I will say, like with the newborn stuff, you really don't need a lot. They grow so fast.
You don't.
You really, and they're messy. So like the cute stuff, I didn't buy maybe 3 or 4 outfits I bought for him, like when he was small, 3 to 6 months, because they get, spit up all over them when they start to eat themselves. Forget it. Like just put them in their diaper. That's what I do, because he just gets so messy that the cute outfits, they're going to get dirty, and you might enjoy them one time for a picture, which, okay, but you're not going to.
Especially because 5 seconds later, you'll remember what happened.
Yeah.
Thank God I snapped it at that second, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So you really don't have to go crazy with clothes. And I see Becky said maybe when you're debt free in the giving stage, you could donate them. I actually went through a ton of Xavier stuff, and I gave them to Jordan's cousin who's expecting a little boy. So, and she was like, she messaged me. She said, I was crying going through everything. I'm like, that's exactly how I felt when everyone blessed me. So I'm just so thankful that I have that opportunity to do that for somebody else.
And I don't know what it is about. I think I know what it is, but I mean, like, like you go with the intention of like, oh, I want to help. I want to bless this person. I want to give them a good gift. But when you're at whatever baby store it is, got the registry and you're going through, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you get all these clothes. I'm like,
remember, I couldn't even go into the stores because I knew myself. Like I would get like that with dog outfits, and I'm like, if I'm like dog outfits, I don't even want to see myself in the baby section.
Gosh. That's so funny. That's so funny. And what I wanted to say too is hand-me-downs for my little Emily. My best friend gave me totes of clothes. So after the baby shower and everything else that we went through those clothes, I have bought things for her, considering like the fact that she's 6 years old now. Like, and it's so funny. We went to visit them, and her daughter goes, "Oh, those are my shoes." I'm like, "Yeah, they are." Like, still have another tote because it's in her family. She just keeps giving them to me. I take good care of them. I wash them. I give them back, so she can give some to someone else. And I haven't had to buy her a lot, which is great. But
yeah, that's amazing.
As getting things for free or really inexpensive, if you are tight on money and you want to cut back any way you can, Facebook Marketplace, they not only will give you baby items at really inexpensive prices because they want to get rid of it too. Like especially me, like after Emily, I was done. I was like, my jersey's it's on the wall. Like in this house anymore. So they'll do that. But when I was looking up things to share tips here, I came across, and I'm not a Facebook person per se. Like I'm not that familiar.
I'm not even on Facebook.
No, but I had heard of Facebook Marketplace, but I never heard of Facebook swap community pages.
Oh, that's interesting. I haven't heard of that either.
It's all free. You have a 2-year-old. I have a 6-year-old. You want to switch clothes? Like I have a newborn or whatever. Like, and people swap baby items and clothing for free. It's a swapping page.
That's really cool.
Have to do is set it up and put down like the town that you live in, and everything pops up for you if you put that in there in the search bar. Yeah.
Another really great way, I don't know, we used to have a consignment store here in town, but they've shut down. So you can always check your area for consignment stores. So what you could do is the prices are already really low. It's gently used items, but then you could take your gently used items there and they'll give you credit. So then you could basically use that credit in the store. So you kind of don't even need money if you have stuff that you can go and take there to consign. That's cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. And about consignment stores, I found this out after my two had grown out of their stuff. There's a store. I mean, I hope it's local to a lot of people, but it's called Once Upon a Child, and it's a consignment store, but it's just for children. They don't do any grown-ups, they don't do anything else. But when you bring in, and I did this with my older two, I brought it in bags like of clothes that didn't fit them, because I had no one to hand it down to. That's the thing with me too. And I'm like, someone told me about this store, and I'm like, oh well, let me try it. And I brought in like little kid movies, like DVD movies. Oh, no, the VCR movies. Oh, God, I'm old. VCR movies. Being honest, VCR movies. I brought in clothes and baby items, and they give you cash on hand. They give you cash on hand. It's called Once Upon a Child, and then and they inspect it. They inspect it like you wouldn't believe. And then anything I gave to charity, because I was like, I'm not, I want good to come from this. But I was shocked. I walked away with over $100. And I had about, if I remember correctly, I had like a tiny seed, and I had some toys, not a lot, maybe like a small bag of toys, 2 bags of clothes, and they took it. I couldn't believe it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great, because it's like stuff that's just taking up space in your place, and then to get money for it, that's even better.
I know, I was shocked. I mean, I had heard of it when I went in. I'm like, they're not going to take this stuff. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, this is good, and this is good. The kids don't use that, so like you can wash it, and it's like brand new, and they took it. They took a lot.
Yeah, wow.
What about toys, like baby toys?
Toys, again, we were so blessed. We hardly had to buy anything. He just celebrated his first birthday. His family members got him a ton of stuff. We had got him a few things, like a little race car ramp here, and he loves cars, so we got him a lot of car stuff. But yeah, everything that he got was really given to us. I think Christmas time we bought him a few little toys, because that's when he kind of finally was able to play with toys. But he honestly plays more with the dogs and my pots and pans than anything, and trying to open the doors. That's his new task at hand, is trying to learn how to open the doorknob. So
oh my gosh,
he's more amused with like things that aren't even toys, to be honest.
We had neighbors next door, 2 little twin boys, a girl, and they were 2 years old. And my husband was coming out of the house, and he opened the door, and one of the twins was right there, and he's like, hi. And we're like, and the mom's like freaking, like, where? I'm like, right here. I'm like, that even now that Emily's 6, I'm still like, oh my gosh, like we have one of those plastic things, and and she'll figure it out, but at least it'll give me time to get over that.
Yeah, I ordered some, and I put them all over, so now it just like circles around, which gives me peace of mind, but he's always trying.
Yeah, I saw this tip on Super Nanny, and I used it when my kids were young, because we had a lot of people give us toys. Like, we don't, like, my mom always raised me, and I think I've said this before, but my mom always raised me like, is it Christmas? Is it your birthday? Then you don't get it. And so it's so funny how you realize what you take in when you're little. And so kids know the same thing. And it's so funny. Now I'm like, yeah, I'm my mom. Like,
I feel like it's funny, because my whole life I tried to not be my parents, and realize I am an even mix of both of them.
That's hysterical. That's hysterical. And mom, she really had nothing, and she just made it like it was a party. Like she really every moment, like if we could not feel at all, like we didn't have anything, then that was her job, and she did a great job at it. So like, and then like what stuck with me, because my kids are like, they don't ask. Like, we go to the store, like when Kate was saying like no means no on her book thing, I was like, absolutely. I said, my kids know it. Once in a while they'll try it. I'm not saying they don't. They know. But so with toys, one thing I saw on Super Nanny that I was like, I tried and it was wonderful. Kids, whether they have 2 toys or whether they have 10 toys, like they're gonna get bored. They're gonna get bored playing with the same thing. Even if they have a little sibling, they're gonna get bored. So what she says, take a tote and put them in the tote and put it away for a month. And then after the month is over, rotate them. You would think these kids thought it was Christmas every month. They're like, oh, what's in here? They forget. They forget what.
I heard that. I think it was on, I don't know if you're familiar with Vessor Beauty. Her name's Brittany Vessor, but I like watching her channel. And I think that was a tip that she had for just toy clutter in general. And I thought, I was just thinking today, actually, I'm like, I need to go through these toys because my living room, if you could see it right now, it needs some help. So I'm gonna have to try it out and see how it goes. Because
yeah, to me it was like I had a lot. I don't even know where it came from. We just had a lot when they were little, like whatever. Oh, I got this, I got this, I got this, I got that, and I literally took half, put it away, and I didn't have to get. They never missed anything. They thought it was a party every day. They really did. For clothing when your kids get older, as kids get older, they get more expensive. Sorry about that. sorry about this, Angel. So especially like my son, like he loves Yankees, you know, he loves Giants and this and that.
That's expensive, the sports stuff. I know.
Yes.
Used to buy it.
Oh my God, it is expensive. And then my daughter, she's not into name brands, thank goodness, because girls forget it. Like their clothing is insane sometimes, especially if you go for like the name brands like Abercrombie. I can't say Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yep.
Walk past that store and it sounds like a club. I'm like, hey, expensive.
Yeah, it's like $40 for a top. I'm like, I can go to Walmart.
I'll tell you. Look at the store. I'm like, oh man, no, I'm good. Hold on, let me just look at these comments real quick. Let's see. Lisa, love thrift store shopping. For my girls, great. I will go on a Wednesday when the clothing is half price. I heard that there's a certain you can ask ahead, right?
Well, I know my local thrift store, I think it's Tuesdays, it's half off day. So anything with a particular color tag, you get half price.
Oh,
and
nice.
When I tell you we got name brand, like name
That's
brand,
we got name brand.
Our niece got her a Calvin Klein jacket for $7. Calvin Klein is not cheap. You can now find that in the store for $7. So definitely check out your thrift stores because we got so many good deals there.
Let me see. Oh, Monica's got news for you. So you won her giveaway.
Oh, Monica! That's awesome. I never won a giveaway before. That's so exciting.
Great. Oh my gosh, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank
you. So she says, I trade my boys' clothing with my friend for her girl clothing so that to my niece in Mexico, my friend used it for her baby boy.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so nice. I'm telling you, there's when she gave me those totes and totes and totes of stuff, just like, oh my gosh, like all this stuff, like she gave me so much, and Emily was so blessed. She's still wearing stuff, you know, that we didn't have to buy. But but for my teenagers, in case anyone's shopping, the way that I save with them is first of all, like I go through what they want, because kids will tell you, the teenagers will tell you, oh, like, I have no t-shirts. And like one day my son was like, t-shirts, and I'm like, you have no t-shirts? Like, I go through his drawer, I'm like, oh yeah, because I see 8 t-shirts here, like, let's try them on. You're gonna do a fashion show for me, I'm gonna sit back, like, okay, let's do this. And you know, if I have a bin that I have in my my garage where I put it, and then as soon as that bin is full, I call the charity truck that comes and takes those things. I don't have anyone that's that age, that size, I can hand it down to. Same thing.
They just come and pick it up for you?
Yeah, they come by.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome! I need to look at that in my area.
look it up. I'll send you the link.
Oh yes.
Red Cross does it, and that way, you know, you leave it right outside, and that way they take everything.
Oh my gosh, that is wonderful, because I've just spent all of March lugging bags and bags.
I know you did. And of course, like me with you know, frugality, you know, channel, tax deduction. Like, if you do it throughout the year, at the end you can declare it on your taxes.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's a good tip.
So I take inventory of what they actually like. Don't go by what your kids tell you that they need. Like that to me is like the number one saving tip I can tell you about that, because they'll tell you, oh, my sneakers, I need new sneakers. Your sneakers are just fine. They're just fine. I got those Nikes. They're fine. They're good. You know, oh no, I checked them. They're good. They fit you. Where's your toe?
Yeah, I can't get over the sneaker, like how expensive certain sneakers, like those Yeezys or whatever they're called. They're like
Nope.
Some kids really want, and they're hundreds of dollars. I can't justify hundreds of dollars on a pair of sneakers, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm with you 1,000% on that. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, absolutely. And my daughter too. Like, like even though she'll tell me what she needs, and most of the time it's true. Like, no, I took your winter things and I put them over here. I took your summer things and I put them over here. So before you're even thinking about shopping for your kids, like just do, and little kids too, just do an inventory of what you actually need. I have, and then try to find a store that you like the clothing that they have, and then get to know their sales cycles.
Yes.
So do you have a Kohl's by you? Do you have a Kohl's by you?
I do have a Kohl's, yeah.
So I my husband signed up years ago for their credit card. I'm not telling anybody that you have the credit card. You don't. But what I love about Kohl's is I got to know their sales cycle. So every certain amount of weeks they offer Kohl's cash back. So you get $10 or $15 on Kohl's cash that they give you to use on your next purchase. So what I do is I make my list, and I check it twice. I make my list of what I'm actually for the kids. So and I have a budget that I have set for it. So we go to the store, and it's always on the week where I have a good coupon. Whether it's the app, because you have an app on the app will send you the coupon, so you don't even have to think about printing anything or anything like that.
Nice.
It's phone with you. So I have the app for the coupon, and I know I'm shopping during the cash. So when you buy, and another thing too is I divide it up, because I know, like, okay, I know how much I'm going to spend. Let's say I'm spending $100. I know I'm going to get $30 back in Kohl's cash, right? So I'm only planning 100. Even if my list is 200, I'm only planning for $100 worth. I know what's on sale. Look through the sales rack, get what you need. And this is just an example. I'm not saying Kohl's, but get what you need. Now you have your coupon code on your phone. You're getting cash back. Now with that cash back, it'll say it expires. It goes from this day to this Saturday.
Right.
So people want to use it up in the beginning of the week because they don't want it to like get lost or anything like that. Take a picture of the cash, because if you take a picture of the Kohl's cash, I happened to be one time I lost $60, and thank God I found it in my car, like as I'm in the parking lot. I was like, there. So take a picture of it, and the app will scan it on so you don't lose it. So that way you don't lose it.
That's nice. That's a nice feature on the app. Then I'll have to download it, because I have a Kohl's card. I get their coupons all the time, but I never go there because I just don't really shop like I used.
Yeah, no, I only go when I have to go. Like I don't go like, I mean,
like just for fun. Like I would go just be like, oh, what do they have today?
Everyone else, like, again, not criticizing anyone, but in order to save money when it comes to teenagers, like that's what I do. So I have my list. Let's say I have $200 worth of stuff. I divide it in half, because if I spend 100, I'm getting those cash, and I have my coupon.
Right.
So now I've left with $100 worth of merchandise that I paid less for because I have the coupon. I have the Kohl's cash back. Now I wait. It's a Saturday. If you wait till the Friday or the Saturday before the cash expires, now you're buying it during the next cash back cycle, and you have a higher coupon than the one that's printed, higher one on your phone, because they want you back. So now you take the other half of your list, attack it with that, and then if you're done, make sure you don't get, like, that's one thing that you do. Like, make sure that if you have cash back for like $10, buy yourself like a pair of, a package of socks. Like, buy yourself,
get something with it.
Don't keep going, because
that's how they get you. That's how they got me. That's
that's how they get you.
That's a good one. I'm gonna have to try to figure that out at my local store, because that's you could save a ton of money doing that.
And more stores do it. It's not just Kohl's. Like, more stores do it. So ask what their sales cycle is. Like, find out, and then once you figure out what the pattern is, it's so easy to break it.
Yeah.
One time I get to the store, and I had, I think, like $30, and so I went online. Everyone's gonna be like, Debbie, you shouldn't do this, but I went on, if I can help anybody, I went on and I bought $30 worth of stuff. My coupon, and now they're like, okay, you come pick up your stuff, right? So I did it by accident the first time. Then I realized, oh my God, I just realized something. I didn't get to the store at Kohl's cash. They did the return for me, and they gave me blue cash. which is actually months that you can have that cash on hand. So I took something that was about to expire, turned it into something that I could wait
Wow.
before doing it by accident. And afterwards I was like, yes.
Yeah, that's like, woo.
Yay. But that's something that we do. And that's how I'm able to try to save money on the kids, because they can get, and some coupons will take Nike, like during the holidays, they'll take Nike and Yankees and all that stuff.
And sometimes I notice Kohl's they'll do sales on like Nike and Adidas stuff periodically too. They'll send the flyers out for that when they do that.
Absolutely. Let me see. Oh, Becky, our style is the clearance. You can get such great stuff. Honestly, you really can. You really, really can. We were whatever we find on the clearance rack. Believe me, it's a birthday or a holiday when he gets his name brand yank or whatever. Honestly,
yeah.
I get a good sale. If I get a good sale, then I'm like, here you go. You know, then I'm mom of the year for 5 seconds. Let me see. Oh, Monica, I have a rotation technique. It's great. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm definitely gonna have to try it.
Yeah, once you start getting more stuff and you see that he's starting to get bored with it, like flip it around. Absolutely. Free activities with the kids.
Well, thankfully, Xavier's still at that age where he is just happy to hang out with me. So we go for walks now that the weather is getting nice. We actually went today. We went up on the swings at the park. He had a great time. But other than that, like we really don't go anywhere, obviously, due to everything going on. But he does get to go with both of his grandmothers. So when he's with Jordan's mom, Jordan's niece and nephew are usually there as well. So he gets to hang out with them. But that's basically what we've been doing. I know in Pennsylvania, we have an amusement park called Knoebels. They still have free parking, and the prices are relatively cheap in comparison to like Hershey Park, Dorney Park. So that was a park that I grew up going to every year. So we do have plans to take him there to meet his other cousin who was just born. My cousin's going to be coming up from Florida, so we're going to take a little family trip there, probably closer to, when it gets nicer.
Nice. That's nice. Oh, I mean, weather is nice. There's so many things that you can do outside. There really are. Parks and playgrounds.
Also for kids, like that, usually for kids like 2 and under, they're usually free everywhere. Like when we went to the water park, we didn't have to pay for him. He was free.
Yeah, absolutely. When I had to pay, once in a while you will get one that'll make you pay like a price, even though like they're really Liberty Science Center here in New Jersey.
Okay.
And it's a big place to go to. And Emily was 2 years old. They made me pay for her. I was like,
oh wow.
She's 2. What's she gonna do?
I could have been there.
I'm like, yeah, no, there's a kid price, I'm like, and normally kids are like 4 and up or 5 and up.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't like you. The library is a great place to go for free.
Yes, that is.
Weather's lousy outside. They have activities for the kids.
Yeah, I know my local library does like story times and like they do a lot of activities at my library now that you mentioned that.
Yeah, and they also have, I mean, at least the one here in town, they have like all these printables that kids can take and like
wow.
And to them they're having craft time. That's quiet time for you. And as a mom, like, oh my gosh,
cherish that.
That's gold. I know. Sometimes I had to like pull Emily out. Let her go home and make dinner, and she's like, shh, like, I'm doing something. Like I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. I should have come earlier. And also, like, I have my list. Anytime that you're going anywhere and you're trying to save money, like you said, like an amusement park, like pack a lunch. Like, yes, pack a lunch. I can't tell you how many times like the kids got it free. It's a great adventure. And and I paid, like, I had my pass for the year, which paid for itself in like 2 visits, and I went like a lot more than that. But pack a lunch, like they stamp your hand, you go outside, or like I make a thing of it. I'd get like a special little snack for them, so it's not like a boring sandwich for them all the time. And to them it was fun. It's like, hey, we get to like get out of the stroller, we get to like like kind of run around inside the car and like have a little picnic. And because the food is crazy and it's so unhealthy too. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
See those things? Like the butterfly fries, that you can see the oil dripping down, and I'm like, look,
it's so expensive. We
Yeah.
went, this was like before we even had Xavier. We went to Camel Beach, which is here in Pennsylvania, and
Mhm.
the food, it was like fried little chicken, wasn't even chicken fingers, it was like the chicken, you know, strips or whatever.
Okay.
Chicken fries with
Mm-hmm.
French fries. And I
Mm-hmm.
think we got like a hamburger with French fries, and it was over $20. And I was like, what? This is
Yeah.
like stuff you could buy at Sheets. That's what it looked
Yes.
like anyway.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. It's unhealthy. It's pricey. You know, then they have like their greasy fingers, and what are they gonna do? They're gonna wipe it on themselves. I'm just like,
Yep.
no, no. Like we went there, like, you know, and then on the way home, sometimes like if I had extra money in my pocket, like I get an, you know, like to treat them to something like on the way home,
Mhm.
since they were watching everybody with all that junk the whole time.
Yeah.
And some places allow you to come in for free.
Oh,
So
okay.
really tight, and we were really like buckling down and trying to get out of debt. I still wanted to obviously take the kids out and do something fun. So one thing I did was we have like a above ground pool here, nothing huge, but it suits. But there's nothing like the beach. So what I did is I packed lunch. I packed lunch, and I left with enough knowing, it's gonna sound crazy, enough time of knowing that I was gonna get to the beach and park and walk in at 4 o'clock, because at 4 o'clock all of a sudden it's free. At least by it's free. The
Oh,
one's still on until about 6, but some
okay.
beaches you can get in for free at 4. And when you get in at 4, since they're not regulating anything, you can bring your cooler up on the beach. There's
Oh,
some kids,
nice.
and I had to pay, I think it's $65 for the 5 of us to walk onto the beach, and that's with Emily being.
Wow. And
I
you know,
mean,
sometimes when they're like younger, they can go and then after like 30 minutes, they're done.
oh yeah,
So
no,
it kind of that would work out in a case like that.
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No, my kids would stay there day and night. So like I have one of the best memories, like one of my best memories are like we stayed there. We literally had like dinner on the beach, like our sandwiches. They have the spotlights that come up, like the lifeguards, of course, were gone. And we saw the stars come out. We had sandcastles. So nice. It was so nice.
That sounds so lovely. That's
And
amazing.
some beaches do movie nights in the summertime on a certain day of the week where they blow
Oh,
up a screen for free,
nice.
for free. So just check with your local beach do during the summertime, but a free movie like we saw, and there were good movies too, nothing too old, and things that the kids can watch. So that's
Very
what got me the
great.
idea. Yeah, yeah, there's always something to do if you have.
Another thing,
Go ahead.
oh,
No,
I
no,
was
go.
going to say
No, no.
another thing that you could do, at least in Pennsylvania, we have a ton of state parks and like lakes and stuff like that. And they're usually free to go into. We would go to the state parks all the time when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So you can check into that because most of the time it's free for you to go park and swim, and if they have a playground or like do hiking trails.
That's great. We what I was gonna say, I love hiking trails. It makes me miss my dog. Our dog
Yeah.
passed away in November, and
Oh,
I miss
oh,
her so
I'm
bad.
sorry.
No, it's fine, but I love hiking. But there's nothing better than having a dog and going for a hike. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
okay, let me see. Becky says outlets have great deals too, and if you visit office before shopping, most give out coupon books. Wow,
I
Becky.
didn't know that. Thank you, Becky.
Becky is chock full of tips. She is
Yes.
awesome. Oh goodness. Okay, here's Monica. It's a community pool, and we go to the park, free city and library events, movies at the park, afternoons and board games, walks, and so much more. You know, it's so amazing what your town and your city, like it's just a matter of looking
Yeah.
it up. You know, a quick Google search or a phone call. Um,
Hmm.
one thing I found out one time is as I was paying off my our credit card, were credit cards handy sometimes. And I know it's like don't quote me on it, but here we go. So so my Bank of America credit card, I never said names before, and then someone said to me, you don't get trouble if you're saying good things. So my Bank of America credit card, as I was paying off my debt, emailed me, and they're like, the benefits of having our card. I'm like, yeah, okay, what is it? And you get to the Museum of Natural History in New York, which I don't know if you've been there, but it's
I don't think.
expensive. It's expensive to walk in. It's expensive to have a ticket. I quote how much it was, but then there are exhibits that you pay for. And so if you had the
Oh,
Bank of America card with the email that I got, if you went on certain days, you got everything for free. Uh,
wow.
we saved over like $120 on a trip between It was the same day that the trains were free, so we took the train in. My
Nice.
son wanted a vendor hot dog like outside. I'm like, yeah, we're in New York.
They're the
I'll
best
give you a hot
in New
dog.
York, though.
We had hot dogs before we walked in, so we weren't hungry because the food there was crazy. We had everything for free at the normal time. It didn't even say like, after a certain time. So sometimes, like, if you want to look to see what you eat, sometimes check with your credit cards. You never know.
Yeah, and also check with your employer. I know my employer offers like discounts for a lot of stuff, but you just have to go on and create a profile, and then you can get access to all different kinds, not just for activities, but for like help with a mortgage, help with like if you want to get a loan for a car. I know my job also offers like any type of like budget counseling and stuff like that for people who want to get that together. So check with your employer too to see what kind of services they might offer for you.
That's great. No, that's great.
Mhm.
I was gonna crack a joke, but I shouldn't because I love my employer, so I'll keep it to myself. Babysitting. A movie nights in. I was gonna say that's one thing that how we really save money. Again, little ones, they use their imagination, and she tells her teacher every day. She's in first grade. She tells her teacher every Friday. She's like, it's over. Like, we have our with us. We watch a Disney movie. I still have Disney Plus for free for like another month.
Nice.
Yeah, that Verizon Wireless hooked us up. And we just cuddle up and we watch it. And to her, it's the highlight of the week. And it doesn't cost us anything. It cost me like $3 for the jar of popcorn seeds. Like, so it's sometimes you don't have to spend on kids in order to be able to have class. My point.
Yeah. Sometimes it's really like they just want to spend that time with you and like feel noticed and like just be with you. So I think that's like that stuff that you can do together, just like a night at home. They're my favorite types of things to do.
Me too. Absolutely. Babysitting. Do you what do you do with babysitting?
Again, like I'm blessed to the max, Debbie. I don't have to pay for daycare. My mom and Jordan's mom will watch Xavier when we're working. And then we don't really do like a whole lot of date nights, especially because everything's just been shut down. But we do at home movie nights. So usually every night before bed, we'll put Xavier to bed. And then it's like our time. We'll talk, how was your day? What did you do? And we'll pick something out to watch. So we'll take turns, if he wants to watch something or I want to watch something, we'll just watch it together. And it's like our little hour of, together time. But I know when things start to open back up and we can start to go do things, we do have, his family and my family. So we're really lucky and fortunate to have both of our families to help us out with that.
That's nice. We're not lucky like that, but what my husband.
Yeah, not a lot of people are that fortunate.
We're not. No, his mom lives a little bit down the street, hour drive each way. And my mom, she's ill, so she can't help us. But my best friend and I, before everything happened, she'd drop off her kids here. Like, I drop my kid here, and they do like a sleepover. So I mean, or they'd at least have them through dinner, which would give my husband and I time to be alone. And again, no cost for a babysitter. We just help each other. You can check with your friends and see like if you guys can do a swap, because babysitters can definitely be expensive.
Yes, they can, and so can daycare, as you have mentioned before.
Oh my God, that's what I miss. I mean, I miss my mom so much. Like, her help was indispensable, and she was there for me. Like when I had no clue how to feed a kid. Like,
right? What do I do?
But I never noticed how much. I mean, anyone watching who has family help or who helps their family, my goodness, what a blessing! $15,800 a year for Emily to go to daycare. $285.50 a week. Like, these are numbers that are going to be embedded in my brain forever.
Well, that's a lot of money to have to pay for childcare.
Not going back to work. I almost
for a lot of people, it doesn't make sense for some, one of the parents to go back to work because of the price. It just makes more sense for them to stay home.
But then as a working mom, you also have to think about, or working parent, not even, I don't want to single out the dads, but like, as a working parent, you also have to think about the fact that, like, and I see this all much at my job, is like the level of experience that you need when you have a big gap in your resume.
Yes.
They'll take advantage of you, and they'll pay you like a third of what they're supposed to pay you, because they know, like, well, who else is going to get doing this, even though if you're overqualified, they're like, you have this gap in your time. So that's why some people decide that even though it's so expensive, that they're willing to still, you know, dance. But I tell you, I had a, like I've said it before, I've had a countdown in my head when that daycare was over, and that's how we got out of debt. That's how we did it. We couldn't do it before that. Before that, I was going to the daycare, you know. Going to daycare, $15,800. And yes, it's a tax deduction, but not the whole thing. Only a few thousand are, you know? So yeah, no. And if you have family or friends that are helping you.
Yeah, we definitely hit the lottery. Yes, oh, thanks, absolutely. Monica.
Yeah, I just called her Vida. I meant Monica. I'm still doing it. I still am. Don't forget AARP discounts, and you don't have to be 55 to get AARP card. What a great
I did not know that. Thank you, Granny Prepper.
She has tips for days. I love her.
Yeah, she's always leaving tips on my videos. I love it.
Oh my gosh, she's so wise. Busy Becky, you're so blessed. I worked for the first 5 years of my kids, like for basically every cent went to daycare. Yeah, but we needed the insurance. The insurance is another thing. Good point, Becky. The sacrifices we make as parents, you know.
It's the truth. There's a lot that now that I'm a parent, I had no idea of before I became a parent.
Yes, absolutely. Birthdays. I can tell you that, I mean, again, like common sense, but some parents, like, you know, you really want to do like a birthday party, and especially if you have family and friends and you want to do this thing and you want to go somewhere. I can, from my own experience, for my older two, I did Chuck E. Cheese. I did it at some ice cream place. It costs at least $500 to have at least 10 kids and some parents there. When you're doing it, for the most part, I've seen some go to $650. I did it in the past. I regretted it every single time because it's a limited time. Chuck E. Cheese was, again, I shouldn't be saying, a certain place was the worst, and I'll tell you why. I was so mad. I was so mad. You pay a lot of money, you know, and you're getting the employees are great. Nothing against them. But after our time was up, like, you know, they give you tokens and they give you cards and go play, go blah, 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 and you have to follow your kid because, you know, you don't want to lose, so you're following them everywhere. Then turned around and our coats and our purses were taken off the table and shoved into this tiny little booth. And they were stacked to the top, and my purse was like spilled over. Someone could have taken my.
Oh my god!
It was literally 2 minutes because people were sitting there. So I left my purse next to a relative, not knowing, you know, this was going to happen. And we paid so much money for it. So if you do it at home or at a park, or you can just buy for $25 a license and do it there, the amount of money that you can save, and you can entertain a huge crowd for such a small amount of money. That's my tip.
Yeah. We just did something small. Xavier's birthday was just a few weeks ago, so we just did something at the house. But you know, we ordered the food because I have to tell you the story. You're gonna laugh. So the morning of his birthday, I go to pick up the cake, and I had my girlfriend from work make the cake. She has a little cake business.
I saw that. You put it on Instagram, right?
Yes, and it was delicious. It was a Dominican cake, so it was like the pound cake with a pineapple filling in between, and it was so good.
I've heard of that.
So anyway, I pick up the cake, I come home, and Jordan had to run out to go check something. He's a plumber, so he had to go check something on a job real quick. And I said, okay, you know, we'll be back. I was going to make rice, and he was going to pick up chicken because if you guys know me, I'm weird with meat and I don't like touching chicken. So a balloon randomly popped. And the birds downstairs, we have 2 cockatiels, they started going crazy, and the dogs were going crazy. And Xavier was napping at this point. So I'm like, God, I don't want to wake the baby. Let me run down and see what's going on. Usually the one bird like flies over by the heater. So I go down and I see the basement door was open. Jordan accidentally left the door open in the basement to go outside. And I hear this bird out there. And I'm like, oh my God, the bird escaped on Xavier's birthday. So, and it's raining. I run outside in my t-shirt and I'm like trying to find this bird. And where's the bird? Where's the bird? Well, I see him on the neighbor's porch. And at this point I had locked myself out of the house. So I'm on the phone. I'm like, Jordan, you have to come home. I'm locked out in the rain. The bird escaped. He's like, oh my God, we're not even having people over. And I'm like, no, it's fine. So I get this bird finally. He's on the neighbor's porch. I jump the fence, get the bird, and he looked like he was about to start flying again. So I went to put my hand to like try to keep him from not flying, and he just started biting my fingers up. I was bleeding all over, and I'm
Oh
like,
my
oh
God.
gosh, I got the bird. At least I got the bird. I had him on the porch waiting to get in. And so we ended up ordering the rice too, because after that, my fingers were all bandaged up. I'm like, I'm not even fussing with them.
At that
So
point, you have to call it quit. You have to call it quit.
yeah, so we last minute ordered the food and we put up
Oh,
some, festive decorations and got the cake.
uh,
And we still spent almost $450 just with ordering the food, presents, the little decorations. We got a little
mhm,
piñata.
mhm,
But the kids had such a good time, and it was so nice to just be with family that
mhm.
it was worth every penny.
Yeah, yeah. No,
And the
it's.
bird escaping.
Oh my gosh! Like I'm glad you're able to turn like something that is such a horror. Oh my goodness! No.
Yeah, it was I was like, oh gosh, just get through this day.
Yes. Sometimes I know that's how parents feel at the end. It's all about the kids, but at the end you're like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, it's over.
Yeah.
One thing is some decorations. So as Emily's gotten older, she's gotten into the Disney princesses, and I found that the Dollar Tree has great decorations for like
They
for themes
do.
for different. So for $20, I decorated the backyard like with streamers and things like pop
Nice.
up things. I got the gift bags. I put permanent marker with its name on it, and we got that's like a tradition that we do too.
Aw.
And so instead of buying all those little trinkets and all those little stuff to give the kids when they go, literally it's the bag. And right before they leave, hey, before let's do the pinata,
Mm-hmm.
take off the bag, bye, and we save money that way too.
Yeah, they definitely recommend the piñata for any parents out there who are planning a party. The kids loved it. I even put little dollars inside of it, so when
You
they saw
do?
the money flying out,
Oh,
they
you're
were
so much
like,
more generous than me. Mine's candy. Mine's candy. One time I did it, and I did like I filled it the night before, and it was supposed to be like
hmm
like a cloudy day outside. I said perfect, and next thing you know, the sun came out, and, and I was like, the pinata is gonna be like all gooey on the inside.
Yeah.
And then I used to buy like the bags and everything and those stuff. The kids don't use that stuff. They use it for 5 seconds
hmm
and then you're throwing it out. So
Yep,
that was a way that we
exactly.
save money too, because that the for a goodie bag, filling it up hours at least to fill it up. And so this point it's like take the candy and go,
Yep,
Yeah. And
exactly.
less kids with a sugar high in your house.
Yeah.
Restaurants are
Mhm.
another good tip. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, so restaurants. I know my Denny's in town, kids eat free on Tuesdays, so go to Denny's on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
But also, we only took Xavier out to eat one time, and we went to Red Robin, and we got him a kids meal of like mac and cheese, and we realized that we definitely paid for a meal that we didn't have to pay for. We could have got him just a side of mac and cheese and fed him some of our French fries because he really did not eat all that
Mm-hmm.
much, and we
Mm-hmm.
basically paid to take his meal home with us because he ate a little bit. He was more worried about trying to touch the, you know how they have that little thing on the table to play the games, the
Yes.
kiosk. Yeah,
Yes.
he was more worried about trying to get that and like our food, what we were eating.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No, there are apps that you can look up, and there's also if you put on Google the town you're in, and free. If you Google that, it comes up with a whole list of restaurants. So
Oh,
in case you're looking for a place to eat that kids eat free or half off, you and you're hungry on the road, you can look at you can find a good deal. So
that's
that's something I want to throw out there. I've done that a few times too. But and they make money too because the grown-ups are going to eat a lot more than the kids are.
hmm
You know what I mean?
yes.
So and then that way it's them in the door. So
hmm
and holidays for me, I always do things on on birthdays and holidays as far as kids want. You know what I mean? And that's the way
hmm
I save too, is because like I want them, if they buy anything throughout the year, like we were talking with Becky last week, they use their allowance. But
Yes.
Christmas time, I have a Christmas sinking fund that every time and make sure not to go over that, because I know that there's so many great deals out there, but really have a list ahead of time before you're going to go shopping, right? Because if
Yes.
you know, like working parent syndrome, and it's the holidays, but it's the holidays, you know.
That's what gets me. That's the holidays.
Mhm.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
only once a year. That gets me every time.
And then you always regret it in January when you look at when you
Yes.
get the credit card statement. Yeah.
Yes.
And you're like, what I do? I've been there. I've been there.
What
Absolutely. That sinking fund has saved me for the last week. And I'm so glad I started it. I wish I would have had it much earlier, you know, because
Yeah,
like kids are expensive. They really are expensive.
they really are. I know
And
I
what
felt lost this year, like with what to buy, because as a new parent, I'm just like, I don't even know, like what do kids like? I'm not sure. And we just kind of bought like a little mishmash of different things, and he plays with them, but I don't know. It's like it's nice at this age because he just doesn't know enough to care.
Yeah, absolutely. No, definitely. That's the best age too. Like when they play more with the box than they do with the actual present.
Hmm.
I love that. So Monica says, we love Red Robin. It's the only safe place so far with gluten-free burgers. That's great.
Yes,
Thing that
her
we were talking
husband's
about.
gluten. He has celiac, her husband, but they also have a delicious Impossible Burger, which is a vegan burger, and that's what I get every time I go there.
I've never been to Red Robin. Like I've never
Oh.
been to Robin. I don't think that they have. Now I'm gonna have to
It's
look.
the only place that Jordan will go to eat is right is
Really?
their
Yeah,
chicken
Red
fingers and
Robin?
fries. Yeah, he
Oh my
loves it
goodness.
there.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And then the last thing I'll on or one of the last things was working parent guilt. Like it's so real. Like it's so real. And it comes up in so
Hmm.
many conversations that I have with my close friends, you know, and
Yeah.
you'd feel so guilty. Like my best friend, she's dedicating so much to her job and work hours, and she has 3 kids, and you know she feels guilty that
Hmm.
more time with them, you know. And I tell her, I'm like, but you're being such a great example for them to see what hard work can actually do. Like
Yeah.
if mom or dad were paying attention to you at video games, that's different. But you're
Hmm.
showing them an example of how a parent of how working hard can get you somewhere. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And no matter what kind of job you do, you know, for them. And that's just something that I feel like working parent guilt can really cost you. Like because you just feel like you have to just do. Like I knew someone who every she threw money at her daughter, and now they don't have a close relationship. And she tells me like, I wish I would have done quality time
Yeah.
instead of throwing money, but she felt guilty because she had to work too.
I can definitely relate to that because definitely during peak season, like I was hardly home during peak, and then I was doing Vlogmas on top of it. And
I did it. Oh my God.
yeah, like when I think back, I'm like, how did I do that? I don't even
Mm-hmm.
know. It's like God gives you what you need to get through what you need to get through.
Mm-hmm.
But I know we talked last time on my live about my father, and he and we did not really have the best relationship. And when he passed, we were not speaking. So,
I'm sorry.
what I've learned from that, it's all that the experience, I realized like I can let it break me or I can grow from this. So, I'm choosing to grow from it. I have my days, don't get me wrong, where like, sometimes it gets to me, but I look at that experience and I say, what can I learn from that and what can I do different?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely try to put more time into Xavier. And the times when I feel like stressed out and overwhelmed, they're the times that I know I need to step back and put more time with him. Because when I just relax and spend time with him, rolling around on the floor, playing with whatever pot or pan he picked up with him,
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
just, I forget, like I lose whatever it was that was giving me those feelings. So that would be my advice to anyone who feels like that. When you have the time, just make the most of it, because when they get older, they're going to see and appreciate everything that you tried to do for them, even if they didn't understand it at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. And then also quality time with each, like if you have multiple kids like I do, one thing
Mm-hmm.
I just started, and I mean, I sound like I've been here, Angel. I literally been doing this for 3 weeks, and I was like, why didn't I do this years and years and years ago? I'm like, oh my gosh. So I've scheduled a date day with them, not a day. So I got to work on time, at least on Friday. And, and And so what I do is I take one of them. We go get ice cream now that the weather's turning, and we go to anyone that they pick, and we just go for like the longest walks, and we just talk, because even though they're virtual, and my husband and I are working from home right now too, we're so consumed in what we're doing
Yes.
the day. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but I mean as far as like responsibilities, you know.
Right.
And so sometimes it's 11 o'clock at night, and I look at my husband. I was like, "Did we even like have a conversation today with like a million times with like, you know, so,
Yeah.
you know, so
Sometimes.
so it's great." And then now they're like they're like, "Oh, hey, it's your date day tomorrow. Have fun," you know. And
Aw.
I've had such conversations even with the 6-year-old that I wouldn't have had like if everyone else was around, you know. So just having that quality time, you know. And like I said,
Yeah.
like my best friend's going through the working parent guilt, and it's like, you just have to try your best. Like you have to try your best. They just want your time.
Yeah,
You know?
that's what they want. And like you said, like all you can do is just do your best that you can.
And that's my biggest tip with regarding that. It's like
Yes.
you're not, you do that. I know you did that. I know Kate's talked about it on her channel too. It's like you have to unplug, you know. And we all, us here watching a live right now, and of course you and I, we have our own channels, and we have people that comment, which I love the subscribers. I love their comments. Honestly, they make
they're great.
It just warm my heart. They make you know, they make you feel like you're helping someone, which is the whole point. But sometimes at night, especially on a movie night, or if I'm going for a walk with them, other than taking a picture, like a selfie with us, like to remember, like that phone is off. You know, I put it on airplane mode, put it in my pocket sometimes, like, you know, because how many times have we been somewhere and we see like a family together and they're all on their gadgets, you know?
Yep.
It's like what's that? You know, you're not enjoying them. So that's just
easy. It's so easy to get sucked into it too, that like you don't even realize sometimes.
No, absolutely. No, you said like you really enjoyed your time. So yeah, we all have. I feel like we all have to do that because it's so time consuming, especially TikTok. TikTok is like a war. Like I get
It's a
TikTok.
wormhole.
That's funny. That's funny. Like next thing you know, you look, it's like a half hour. I'm like, I just
and you're like, oh gosh.
yes, no, definitely, yeah. So let me just see. I feel like we've touched on the comments. You guys are so much for bearing with us with technical difficulties before.
Yes, thank you. You guys are wonderful.
Thank you. And thank you, Angel, so much. And,
Thank you,
and I have no links. Again. As we're done, I'm gonna add them. So do you have anything else to add?
The one thing that I want to add, you had brought up a question in our outline about keeping up with the Joneses. And I just really want to bring this message across, because this is something that I've been learning recently on my journey, is that the more I practice gratitude for what I already have, the less I feel like I'm without.
Yeah.
So for anyone who might be struggling with that, like feeling like you need to keep up with the trends and keep up with all of the newest stuff, just take a minute to like look around and see what you already have, and just like really thank God or whoever you believe in for that. Because I saw this picture and it said, what if you only woke up with what you thanked God for yesterday? And this was like a while ago, and that hit me because I'm like, man, I didn't thank God for nothing yesterday. Like I'd wake up with nothing. So that is how I try to keep myself from not having to keep up with all of the Joneses and the trends and all of that kind of stuff.
See, awesome, right? I mean, like, it's funny. Like we do a give and take, like, you know, and it's like, what can I follow that with? Like that's perfect. That's perfect. Keeping up with
Debbie.
it's true. It's true. You're wonderful. You're wonderful.
Thank
your
you.
Content's wonderful. Your channel's wonderful. You could tell like what kind of heart you have. Guys, if you guys are not subscribed to her, please go subscribe. Anyone watching, I'd really thumbs up if you're enjoying this too. I have kept you on way too long with our technical difficulties, and we laughed like half the way through.
Yeah, we did.
I love having you on. I hope you'll come back again.
Yes, of course.
I would love that. And guys, everybody watching live, thank you so much. Everyone watching on the replay, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Again, I'm going to leave all Angel's links and we talked about down in the description box when we're done. Thank you so much. And I hope, oh, wait. Oh.
Thank you, Monica.
There you go. I couldn't have said it better. Awesome.
Thank you.
So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.